In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 4 ways in which you can know that someone is not really your friend. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my channel. If you're here for the first time, my name is RUTH MUNTHALI and I'm a Zambian YouTuber, right? Based here in Zambia, and I am your internet big sister. Now, I've been thinking and I'm like, I would have wanted to have an internet big sister when I was younger, you know, someone who could talk to me about different things, from friendship to relationship to money to spirituality to self-development, self-esteem, confidence, everything. Think about it, whatever it is. And I decided, because I didn't have that person, I'm gonna be that person for you. So yeah, you're welcome to my channel. We're going to talk about everything that affects young people. So if it affects you, I'm talking about it, okay? If a young person deals with it, I'm talking about it. You can imagine it, I'm talking about it. And today we are talking about something that affects all of us. Friendship is a huge part of our lives. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Guys, we are relational beings. I know some people have been hurt by friendships and they've come to a point where they're like, I don't do friendships, but it's just not healthy. No man is an island, right? So friendship is healthy. However, it's very important that you learn how to navigate friendship with so much wisdom. And today, I'm going to be teaching you part of that wisdom, which is to recognize when someone is not really your friend. Right? Now, I want you to take this with a pinch of salt, because there are certain things that are exceptions to the rule. For example, somebody's just going through a hard time and they begin to show these signs, or it just happens once and it's not consistent. But when you realize that it's a very consistent trait, then you got to check it. So we're looking at 4 things that are going to tell you that this person is not really your friend. And the way this person is described by the Urban Dictionary is a frenemy. They're called a frenemy. Now, you see that there are 2 words there. There's friend and enemy. So they're like your friend and your enemy at the same time. And it just doesn't make sense to me, because how does that happen, right? But it does. So let's get right into it. Sign number 1 that somebody is not really your friend, aka your frenemy, is they have very obvious competition with you. Blow the whistle. Blow it. Like they compete with you and it's obvious. You don't even want to hide it small. No. Very obvious competition. Now, guys, I like to be careful. Sometimes there's a difference between competition and inspiration. For example, you do something and your friend is inspired by it and they want to try it. Like, let's say I have a YouTube channel. Then my friend says, oh, I like how you're doing your thing and I'd like to do it as well. They could just be really inspired by my life, right? But when you see that competing with like subscribers, how many views did your last one get, you can pick it. And that's why for me, one of the most important things you need to sharpen as a human being is discernment and intuition. Because sometimes people are competing with you and it's not so obvious, but you can just pick like, something's off here. Like they're competing with you. There are certain people who only thrive in friendships where they are better than the others. Right? So whether it's better looking, better in academics, or you know, they have more money, or they're more well-traveled, whatever it is, they just thrive in friendships where it seems they have the upper hand, and you need to be like, what's going on? That reminds me of a friend I had in my early 20s. We're really good friends, you know, so we'll do everything together, we'll shop together and everything. And so sometimes I like to be a loner. I can be like in groups, but sometimes I like to be a loner because my secondary temperament is phlegmatic. So sometimes I really just want to be alone. And so sometimes I'll just go on personal shopping sprees, right? So this one time I did do a personal shopping spree and I didn't tell the person, and we're going for an event. So I was waiting for the person like downstairs. The person comes downstairs and they make it so obvious that they're looking at me and they're displeased that I went and got these cute clothes without them. Maybe I could take that. Like, okay, I broke the rules. But on top of that, the person now looks at themselves and they're like, I can't go out with you like that. I can't go out with you looking like this. More like you're looking better. And that's how I went to that event alone. Guys, like at that point, I had to question the friendship and direct where it was going, right? So when a person is obviously competing and comparing their life with you, they are not really your friend. And I know sometimes it can be confusing. Is it a matter of maturity or what's going on? But I think at that point, you really need to reconsider calling them your friend. Please bear in mind that there are categories for friendships. There's acquaintances, and there's just like general friends, and there's like inner circle, right? Today, I'm talking about people in your inner circle. If you're observing these things in them, they need to come out. Trait number 2, that this person is not really your friend. They either do not compliment you or they offer you backhanded compliments. Yeah, they either do not compliment you over very obvious things. Very obvious things. Guys, your friends should be your biggest cheerleaders. You know what I mean? They should be your biggest cheerleaders. When you look good, you change your hair, you did your nails, you did something well, they should be able to recognize that and tell you. I believe it, right? So when you realize that they do not compliment you, or they always offer backhanded compliments, you get a car. Oh yeah, this car is nice, but it would have been better in black. Yeah, this dress is nice on you, but I think you look nicer when you lose weight. Like, what are you doing? What's that? Right? And I know sometimes you'd be like, oh, some friends will be like, no, I offer constructive criticism. There's a huge difference between constructive criticism and backhanded compliments. We are not babies. So you can tell, like, this is just a backhanded compliment. The person always has to bring a negative vibe. Or when they're telling you, they talk about how they would have done it better. Oh yeah, if I also did that, what? Why? Right? So when you observe a person does not compliment you, but they compliment other people, there are people like that, they compliment other friends, then it's an issue with you. It's an issue with you. And you know, you don't want to do that. All that backhanded compliments, yeah, that's sign number 2. Sign number 3 is they are silent about your wins and your achievements. You graduated, they know they post your graduation picture, they don't say congratulations, they're not making noise. You start a business, they're not supporting, they're not talking anything about it. It is very weird. Now remember, at the beginning I began to say it doesn't always apply, because sometimes maybe a person is going through a rough patch. Ne? So what you need to do is you need to observe, is this consistent behavior? Ne? Is it consistent? Is this person constantly not celebrating my wins? When you realize that there's consistency in the exuding of this negative energy, then you need to check it. But sometimes people are just going through a rough patch on their own. Even though I'm of the opinion that even though you're going through a rough patch, if your friend is winning, at least say something. You may not have to make an Instagram post about it, but reach out in the inbox and say, hey, I'm so proud of you. I celebrate you. Something, you know what I mean? So when you see that people are so silent about your achievements, your wins, they are behaving like it didn't happen. It literally did not happen to them in their world. They're just quiet. Nah, something is off. Something is off, sis. Nah, that person is not your friend. They're giving off frenemy vibe. The last point is when they only become overly inquisitive and curious about bad things that are happening to you. Then all of a sudden, you see investments. Like, misery loves company or what? What are we doing? You know what I mean? So when you observe that, not only get very invested in your life when your life is not working, something bad has happened, that's what they're only there for you, or they'll talk about it. It's weird. All of a sudden, they're just overly invested. I think it's weird, guys. It's very weird. And so this means you need to reevaluate the closeness of that person in your life, them being in your inner circle. Now, I know you're there wondering, Ruth, what do we do when we want certain things and they happen for our friends and they don't happen for us? I did a video where I told you it is normal to carry 2 emotions at the same time, where you're happy for the friend, but you're sad for yourself. However, the healthy way to go about that is you're still able to celebrate the other person, right? I remember 2 of my friends who applied for a visa to the same country. One friend got it, the other friend did not get it. Guys, we were all hyped for the friend that got it. And I know my friend, like, I could see she was genuinely happy. And it was later I had to ask her, hey, are you really okay? Like, I know this is something you both wanted. She said, you know what? She got it. I'm happy one of us got it. Of course, I'm sad I didn't get it, but times and seasons happen to us all. And later on, she now got a visa to even a better country, and she went there, right? It's not always gonna happen like that too. Like, because you celebrated someone, you get something better. I'm just saying. Yeah, so there are certain people who always work on themselves in a way that when they observe little emotions that are negative, like competition, bitterness, jealousy, you don't want to compliment your friend, they tackle them immediately. So let's finally address two people. Number one, if you're a person whose friend is consistently showing you these traits, it's time for them to come out of your inner circle. I didn't say you have to cut them off. I just said they need to leave the inner circle. Should you have a conversation with them before you do that? I don't know, because who are you sitting down with and the person actually says, yes, it's true, I'm jealous of you, or yes, it's true, I'm competing with you, right? So I think it's just healthy to keep a healthy distance. Then if you are a person who is competing with your friends, you are competing, you give backhanded compliments or you do not compliment at all, you are quiet about their achievements, you only get inquisitive when things are not working, I only have one word of advice for you. Heal. I'm looking at the camera. Heal. Heal. It is not normal to be that person. So yes, you may have those little seeds of negative emotions sown in you, but work on them. I've gone through watching my friends win in areas I should be winning too. I still celebrated with them, right? My friends are going to tell you this. I will celebrate you for something I'm believing God for, right? Man, that's just me. Okay, like let's just bring it home. I want to get married. I'm believing God for a great marriage, right? Any of my friends who's gotten married within the last how many years, I'm gonna celebrate you, child. I'm celebrating you, okay? Like I am not going to decide to be quiet. I even had one of my friends recently got married. So a friend of mine was wondering why I hadn't posted and hyped her yet. So I was like, oh no, I haven't just gone in the pictures. She was like, oh no, I was just checking because we know you to be a person that celebrates others. I'm like, yes, that's what I'm gonna do. Jesus is in the neighborhood, so I'm gonna celebrate you. You got that car? I'm believing God for a car. We're gonna celebrate your Mercedes, baby. Like that's what we're doing. I'm gonna sit in there and go like, this feels good, girl. You know what I mean? Why are we gonna be negative people? So I know sometimes it's gonna take more work for you to work on yourself in that regard, but when you observe like, okay, I'm a little bit jealous of my friend or whatever, sit down and heal. We've all been there. We've all been there. Find practical ways to deal with it. I remember when I was younger, I'm going to close with this. I wasn't confident about my facial beauty, right? I did love my figure, but I wasn't confident about my facial beauty. What I did to tackle that is I made sure I complimented beautiful girls. Whether it's on the street, whether it's my friends, I see a good picture, I'll tell, girl, you look gorgeous. That's how I worked on myself. I didn't start like being jealous. Now I can't compliment the beautiful ones. Why? You know what I mean? So yeah, guys. So those are 4 signs that someone is not really your friend. And for you who's behaving like this, it's 4 signs that you need to heal. Yeah. So guys, thanks for, watching the video. Let me know what you learned in today's video. Are you maybe seeing these traits in one of your friends? You can talk to me. All right, guys. So until my next video, it is goodbye and God bless.